So today I want to talk about the importance of translator. And there are things that you as an attorney, either defense attorney or the prosecutor, especially prosecutors and the investigators need to remember is that when you hire a translator to interview East Asian victims or even East Asian perpetrator, I think you need to understand this. A lot of translation depending on what your intent behind the statement. In other words, it may make sense to say a word or two and asking a certain questions in your mind to get the right information, or you think you're getting the right information out of your interviewee. It does not mean that that's what they're gonna hear. So in other words, that if your translator does not know how to interpret what you're trying to do, what you're trying to ask, and just solely based on the translation based on word by word, sometimes, often, that the intention behind your questions and the information that you're trying to get out of the interviewee is not going to be translated very well. I've had this happen multiple times, whether I'm assisting Korean attorneys for English-speaking victim or the offender, or in the U.S., American attorneys who are trying to ask questions to obtain information from the East Asian victims or offenders. So in other words, that translation is not about the word by word communication. I think that a lot of times the translators don't really understand the mindset of the victims or the phenomena behind human trafficking market. So it's harder for anyone to translate, if that makes sense, to help you obtain the data out of the victims. So I see this happen a lot, and I can see how that's happening. And sometimes I'll work as a translator just to help local law enforcement or colleagues and nonprofit. And when I translate, I'm there as a translator, not a U.S. expert witness or law enforcement trainee or consultant. As a translator, I can only say whatever is asked to do. And in other words, I see the gap between what the attorney is trying to ask as opposed to the victim. So the caveat here about translator is that one, it helps if the translator understand your intent behind it and also understand the market and how this trafficking network or how the transnational network work. Number two, it'll also help that you are very clear about your intent behind why you're asking these questions to understand what phenomena or what part of the network. So when you're hiring a translator, if the translator is trained in the tactics, then I think that the translator will be able to help you gain better information by strategically asking different wording format. Except they're asking this, your UN translator asking the question, but it just literally is not the same.